What's up guys? So today we are going to have a closer in-depth look at the recent Category 3 parcel that I got from 53 Frogs or NN Opals or Riley, however you know him. He's got some great stuff and he sent this in one of my recent purchases. I didn't actually purchase this parcel, this was actually sent to me, so very nice. Number 3, I'll flash up what that actually means, but basically it's fairly tricky, gamble rough for people with some cutting experience to sink their teeth into. So it was very nice of him to send it through, and I'm gonna do a quick little video here where we have a good look at it. I was gonna do it as a live, but the camera app that I use for using my phone for live streaming lowers the quality down, and these gems deserve a bit more than 480p quality. Some nice grainy footage. So instead we'll do it this way. And you can see here I've got 4 choices that I'll prepare. So I'll just pick 4 of the best ones from here. I've got a little tub of water. These things, even dry, show huge flashes of colour. So if I just zoom in on this one. So if I zoom in on this one, you can see here, this is it dry. So even dry, it's still hugely flashy. It seems like his level 3 opals from Kubapedi are still also shell. So it's a lot of crystal material, which is interesting. I thought he'd have some white pieces in here, but I guess white is less of a gamble than any other opal really. It's far more consistent. So we'll just chuck some of these in the water, chuck all of them in the water. On his little packet he says that this is 30 carats, and there are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little opals in here. And look at that, just under the water, no positioning or anything, and you can see the very flashy little crystals. Hence why I'm not doing this on a live stream. So let's just pick one of them out. We'll start with this one. This one's interesting. So this is a really big piece of crystal. And if the outside can be scrubbed up nicely, it's going to have huge amount of blue-green potential. And it's a really thick piece too, so this might not even require fitting into a doublet. I am a little bit worried. You can see an inclusion in there or a crack that's pretty deep in the piece, but everywhere else this seems to just be on the surface, and it's, yeah, I mean look at that. It's beautiful, beautiful piece of crystal, as long as we can get rid of that crust and it doesn't have any inclusions that penetrate the stone too deeply like over here. So that's a bit of a, like it says in the description, it's a bit of a gamble. These are fairly gambly pieces, but if they pay off you'll get an amazing stone out of that. So that'll be option number 1. I'll zoom out and show you the sheet of them afterwards. Option number 2. How about we pick out that flashy one that I showed right at the start. So this one here, it's really thin. There's not a hell of a lot that I'm going to be able to do with it, I don't think. Just try to uncover this flash, make sure it's all the way through. This would be pretty good doublet material on this angle actually. We're not just getting that green flash, there's red in there. So it might be a matter of scrubbing up this side. You can see the shell patterns. But because it's not a very intact shell and it's just a fragment, I'm more than happy to carve away any remnants of it looking like a fossilized shell. At this point it's just for cutting a stone. Probably a doublet, just because of how thin it is. It is a shell after all, but we'll see. That can be number 2. So number 3, what do we have? What do we still have here? This one I'm not going to put up as one of the options, just because it's really, I haven't seen an opal quite like this. So the surface is really uneven and patchy and really lumpy, kind of like a tongue. But on all of those little balls sticking out of it, there's a lot of colour. So it just plays across the surface. It's really weird. I feel like if I carve into it, it'll all disappear. But it's on both sides. It's this weird turquoise kind of colour. Bit green, bit blue. That one I won't cut, but I'll keep as a specimen just to look at every now and then, because it is pretty interesting. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got this. It's a really, I mean, you saw it just then. It's not even in focus properly, and look at that. So it's a very small but really thick piece of crystal there. And it's got some huge colour. So if that comes out clean, just scrubbing up that surface, you've got yourself a really nice piece of crystal opal. Probably destined to be a doublet, but who knows with that one. I'll put that as a maybe. That could be number 3. This one I definitely will keep as an option. So this is a butt end of a shell, which I always like, but it does have a fair bit of colour in it. It's already scrubbed up a little bit, so I'm not hugely keen on it. It's not going to cut a stone or anything, but it could look nice just trimmed up. I'm not going to keep it in its perfect shape or anything, but we'll keep that as an option. Option number 3. Got a couple more to choose from here. This one's a difficult one. So it's got a colour bar going through it, but it's crooked, it's uneven. There's a whole heap of potchy shell over here and over here. So there's not a lot to this one. It's just really bright and colourful. That's why it's in the 3, because it's bright, but it's also a tough cutter. And then this one actually has a well-defined colour bar going through it, but it's not very thick because it gets chewed into with this sand inclusion over here. So that's going to really hamper this stone, and maybe if it doesn't disappear, you're just going to get a small little crystal over here. Which is still nice because it's got this base layer of potch here, healthy looking potch. That'll be the backing of the stone, so it doesn't have to become a doublet. It should actually present itself quite well just in that section. A green crystal. So I guess I've got to make a choice before I get you guys to make the choice. Out of these two here, this one's a lot like the first option. Option 1, it's a crystal, it's got a lot of colour in it. So I think we'll give that one a miss, and option 1 can be just as good. So this will be option number 4. So let's reposition this. Thems are your choices. 1, big crystal. If it comes out clean, it'll be really nice. Get the camera to focus on it a little bit. Quick recap. Option 1, really nice crystal. You can see how clean it is there. So there's a good chance that'll actually cut. Number 2, really bright, multicolored, but very thin piece of shell. See what we can get out of that. Butt end, just basically give it a scrub up, see how this colour presents itself along the outer edge here, along the inside. Probably keep a little bit of its structure because it clearly looks like a shell. And then number 4, the one we just went through, possible sand destroying the piece, but a nice crystal layer with colour on top of this potch, which isn't white, but it isn't black either. It's not even what I would call dark, it's just a bit grey. So maybe a nice green stone on that grey potch. So yeah, them are the choices. So let me know what you think in the comments, Messenger, all of that kind of stuff. I'll tally up the scores and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm currently cutting the number 4 choice from the Cubopedia lot that I showed recently, and this is a sneak peek of it. It's almost finished, so I don't want to show the back. This is just the... well, this is the back. I don't want to show the front. This is just the back here, so it might trigger a bit of a memory. I don't want to show you the other side to reveal too much. But yeah, once this one's done, that'll be the end of those ones. The other ones didn't get many votes at all, so they can be chucked back in the normal pile. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll get back to carving.